we have to talk about offers again. I know I have probably several videos on this channel about offers, but you guys, they are so nuanced. So there's so many different facets to an offer and why it sells, why it doesn't, why it feels heavy, why some people are successful. There's so much to talk about. So in this episode, I want to go deeper into why an offer may feel really heavy or hard to sell versus something that you put it up there and it literally flies off the shelves. You are shocked even sometimes when you're like, oh my God, people actually bought that. Because I've experienced both. I have been at this for 7 or 8 years now, dissecting and understanding why something sells, why doesn't something sell, and honestly looking at the industry, the coaching industry as a whole, and what the advice out there is around making an offer sell. And I think they're getting a lot of things wrong. So we're going to break it down in this episode. Hey, I'm Rachel. If we haven't met, I am obsessed with human design, absolutely love it, and love applying it to other areas of life and business. And on this channel, we talk human design, we talk about marketing and messaging, and my background is copywriting. So messaging is a natural one for me, but I love applying it to all things in your business and how you're showing up and how you're creating your offers. So let's get into it. I feel like most people are creating offers from their head primarily. And what that really looks like is one, you're told this is what sells, right? Maybe it's a business coach saying, hey, you should sell low ticket, or everyone needs a signature program, or high ticket's dead. You should be selling low ticket. And listening to the advice out there and what the container should be. And a signature program, one-to-one, low ticket, these are all just containers of an offer. They all work. To be honest, none of it is dead. It's all a bunch of and all of it works. It really depends on you, your energy, and how your expertise, how your energy really helps people. And the problem with taking that advice of low ticket's dead, you need a signature program or whatever it is that it puts us up in our conditioning and makes us think that the thing that we truly want to offer, the thing we truly want to help people with, isn't the way that we should actually package it. And I'll explain more in a minute. But the second one that I see a lot of people doing is they're copying someone else's success or taking what their strategy was and applying it to their business. So this one is low ticket. It's actually a great example of my own success. I had a very deep sacral response to do a low ticket offer funnel, spent several years working through it, building it out. Absolutely freaking loved that offer. Nothing wrong with it. It sold very well. It did very well for my business. And then it got to a point where it didn't anymore. It didn't sell. It was burning money on ads. And all the while knowing deep down that it wasn't actually how I wanted to serve my clients anymore. However, I fought it and was like, no, this works. This is it worked. I just have to get it back to working and not break it. And all the while ignoring my own intuition about that offer, my own intuition that while it was a great offer, still is a great offer, it wasn't serving the people the way that I wanted it to and the way that I want to moving forward for the new iteration of myself, the quantum leap version of myself, the higher level, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't doing that, okay? That's an example of kind of copying someone else's success. Yes, it was in alignment for that period, but it wasn't in alignment for the next chapter of my life. That's being radically honest with yourself on your offers. The third way I see people creating their offers is they come in thinking number one, they have a lot of expertise. They're really, really good at something. Maybe that's really good at something in their life. Maybe it's really good at something they've learned, but they're good at it, right? So they create an offer selling what they're really good at. And then they realize that it's not really what the market wants, or it's not really selling easily, or they have to figure out their marketing. And there's a reason for that as well. Those are the 3 ways. And I want you to be honest with yourself. Have you created your offer from one of those ways? Because that might be why it feels really hard to sell. It might be why people aren't coming into it in droves. It might be why you feel really burnt out. That's another thing. If you feel burnt out delivering an offer, that is a huge clue that is not an offer in alignment, and there is no way that you will scale it. It's also happened to me. I feel like I've had so many, it's all serving, right? It's all serving me to help you realize what's going on. But I had offers that felt really heavy, number one, to sell, and then number two, to deliver on, because it wasn't actually positioned to my expertise, the things that I'm really good at, my natural gifts. Okay, so I want to give you an example of the third one where it's this expert, right? Maybe they're an expert at trusting their own intuition, trusting themselves. They know that the world would be a much better place if people just trusted themselves. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. The world would be a much better place if people trusted themselves. However, that in itself is not what makes people buy. It's not marketable. We need an entry into it. And this is the third piece of it that so many spiritual coaches, healers forget about, and that is market. The market, the people that buy your offer, right? There is I don't want to say a line, I want to say a way that we have to kind of satisfy all these different parts and pieces. This is also why I think offers gets so convoluted in marketing and what you see online, because there are a million different parts and pieces to an offer. There's the actual physical container of it. And is it on Voxer? Is it one-to-one? Is it group? Like how you're packaging it? What's the price? What is the actual transformation and the benefits of it, the problem that you're solving? And then there's the market. Are you visible? Are people asking for this? There's so many different parts and pieces to an offer. One part of that could be off and it can throw the whole thing off. Okay. Sometimes in big ways and sometimes in small ways. But ultimately, if nothing else, if you learn nothing else from this episode, if your offer feels hard to sell, there is something amiss in the alignment of it, whether that's in your expertise, in what you're selling, or in the market, in how you're selling it and positioning it to the market. Something is amiss. So how do we actually figure this out? How do we figure out what part is not right? Right? And then how do we make an offer that truly is like the epitome of all of these things, your energy, your expertise in the market? When all of those converge like a really great Venn diagram, that's when, number one, selling gets easier. People fly into your offers. It's like the Jessie Jean. I did a whole episode on her. That's what she found. She found the center point of those things, and that's when it popped off and went viral and crazy. Okay. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for everyone. Because when we are able to do this, not only do we feel purposeful in our offers, purposeful in our business, but it's actually really, truly helping people on the other side. And that's really what we want. That's why you became a coach or a healer. Okay. So these three parts, the human design aspects. Our human design shows us why people trust us, what our gifts are, what are the things that come really naturally to us. Your human design is going to point you in that direction. It may not say explicitly you're really good at messaging, although it might. My chart actually has a lot of words and crafting words in it, in the different energies and the different gates, but it shows you how you want to show up, what feels the most natural way to express yourself. It shows you all of those things. So understanding that about your chart is so helpful. Can you get there without your chart? Of course you can. But your chart is going to be that shortcut if you haven't quite figured out the trusting of yourself, trusting your intuition, really leading with that, and you don't maybe have the confidence yet to be yourself. It's going to show you who your authentic self really is and where your conditioning is. I've spent years really understanding and dissecting under the conditioning and showing up from conditioning versus showing up from your defined energy in your chart. When I show up for my conditioning, my overhead thinking, my open emotions, my open will center and wanting everything to be enough, when I'm showing up from that, I inevitably create things that don't land with people, that don't resonate, that feel really hard, versus when I'm creating from my defined energy, my 1648, my defined sacral and spleen and root G center, when I know who I am, when I'm showing up with that energy, knowing my gifts, that's when that's when people comment, that's when people buy, that's when it feels so much easier and I don't overthink it. That's what human design can do for you. The second part is knowing expertise. Okay, what are you really good at? What have you learned through experience? All of those things. You need that as well. I couldn't go into a completely random field like doctor and know what the heck I'm doing and trust my intuition. Probably wouldn't go well. Like, I'm not going to be able to help people. I might be able to help them, I don't know, like I'm not going to be able to help people. It's not going to go well, right? So your expertise, the things that you've learned, the things that you've mastered, the skills, right? Think of it as skills that you've learned. Now we have to bring in market demand. This one, healers, I love you. And the life coaches tend to forget about the market. They tend to forget that there is a way that people buy through emotions, through story, like all those types of things. Market demand. Why do people buy? It is important to understand there is a way to position your offer. You could have the same offer, but positioned differently for the market and it will sell. That's what people talk about when they say that your messaging is wrong or that your messaging isn't positioned right. That's what they're talking about. The same offer. I've helped so many clients that come into me with an offer. We reposition the messaging around it, and now it sells because it's actually positioned to the market and what people buy. Now, these three things, the expertise, the human design, and the market. Also, market is visibility. If you don't have people seeing your offer, doesn't matter what kind of amazing offer it is and how amazing the messaging is, no one's seeing it, no one's going to buy it. So keep in mind that you do have to have visibility. That is also part of the equation. So have your human design, right? If you have the human design and your expertise dialed in, but no market, you have beautiful work, but no one's going to buy because you don't understand the market. You don't understand your ideal client. Okay. If you have market and strategy, like market and expertise, but no human design, people will buy, but you are going to burn out. If you know your expertise and you know the market and you're selling something, but it's not in alignment with your energy, you will likely burn out doing way more than you need to, and it feels really hard. Okay. If you have human design and the market, you understand your human design, you know what your gifts are and your talents. You don't have the skills yet, but you do know how to sell. You know the market, you know how to sell. You will have a great idea and you probably can sell it, but you're going to have weak results. People aren't going to get results from that offer because there's no skills involved in that. So does that give you a clue into what your offer is likely missing and why it probably feels a little bit harder than it needs to? Okay. This is why I built Athena app. She's live now. She's very new, but she's live. She takes all of these different points of offer and what makes an offer sell and your human design, your expertise, your talents and the market and helps you find that center point that makes things so much easier. She's like, this is what you're really good at. This is why people trust you. You have this skill set. Here's how we're going to position it to the market and get you visible. That's what she's doing. So, and honestly, I've taken my own offers through her. And you know what she told me? You remember that low ticket offer I told you about? She's like, why is that in your offer suite? It makes no sense with everything else. And she's right. 3 years ago, it would have made perfect sense. It made perfect sense. But I have changed. My business has changed. How I want to grow this business has changed. And she saw that and was like, that offer doesn't fit anymore. Now, she didn't say you go and get rid of it, but she pointed out something that I knew intuitively, but wasn't ready or willing to tell myself, right? Another example, another person inside of Athena. She's an amazing coach. She's actually coached me. She's brilliant. She's really good. I would never guess that she has a problem talking about her offers because she's good. She has clients, right? She should know how to. I would never have guessed that. But she had an offer and she was telling me, gosh, has selling changed on Instagram? Why can't I sell this offer? Why does it feel so hard? Maybe I need better hooks or maybe a different strategy. And so she put that offer inside of Athena and was blown away. She's like, I have never, ever, ever considered the things that Athena brought up. It pointed out gaps in her alignment with her human design and what she's really good at. It pointed out vagueness in the transformation that she thought was clear. Athena was like, not for the market, and showed her how to package this offer to her human design so she's not going to burn out, and to the market and what the market is asking for and wanting and ready to buy. She's really brilliant. Athena blew me away. blew me away. So I want you to ask yourself, like, if your offer feels really hard to sell, if it's not selling the way that you want, what aspect of the offer and this triad that I'm talking about of your human design alignment energetically, your expertise, and the market, do you think intuitively is the problem? Athena will tell you for sure. She will come in and be like, this is the problem and here's how to fix it. So if you are ready, like wanting to take your offer and throw her into Athena, I'm going to put the link below. Go check her out. She's amazing. She will change your life. And I don't say that lightly. She will change your life. I hope this was helpful in understanding why things sell, why they don't sell, because there's so many parts and pieces. And I get it. Like, I could literally talk about this for probably hours because there's so many nuances and exceptions and things. But by and large, those three, your human design, your expertise, and the market, that's what we're looking at. That's what we need to satisfy in order for your offer to work, an offer suite too. Athena also takes into your offer suite, right? Not just one single offer. She's looking at all of it. This is just one aspect of her too. There's so many other things you can do with her, but the offer suite is probably my favorite feature of her. So hope this was helpful. Drop it in the comments if you know which one of those, human design, expertise, or market, is your offer problem. And I would love to hear. All right, we'll see you next week.
Your voice is the portal, not the plan.